Hello and welcome in today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I'm the lead beat writer for Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I am so grateful to be joining you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Now exactly 4 weeks away from the start of Arizona State's football season as they take the field at Mount America Stadium against the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. And as all of you in Sun Devil faithful know, fall practices just got underway on Wednesday, and I have been in the building, boots on the ground, all 3 days so far. And I have been watching practice for the entirety of each session. I can't say that I've had my eyes on every part of the field or the multiple fields that they're on at every moment, but I have had a chance to check out every position group at least a little bit, and I have had the fortune of watching the 7-on-7s and the 1-on-1s that they've been doing, and I kind of just want to give each and every one of you a rundown of what I've observed, some takeaways, some standout players that I want to name, and yeah, so grateful. Yesterday was a great episode. I kind of previewed the 2025 season with Tanner Capolini, who is a staffer on the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI site, and that was great. And before we get started on today's episode, please give me a follow on X/Twitter at khicks_21 as you see right there. And let's get started. So obviously Wednesday was a great first practice. Coach Kenny Dillingham said as much during his media availability on that date. There wasn't a lot to pick at. He really was correct. That's probably the best first practice that Arizona State has had in many years, especially going back to Herm Edwards and even Todd Graham. The guys looked focused. The team looks faster. The team looks stronger. The team looks deeper. There's not many holes that you could poke at the team on Wednesday. Thursday, not so much. Dillingham is known for his trademark of keeping things honest, and he did on Thursday as well. He basically went out on a limb and said, why can't we go 6-6? Why can't we go 5-7? Why can't we go 3-9? Because that's the way we practiced today. And it wasn't a bad practice. This isn't a bad team. This isn't a team that's devoid of talent. But they just didn't practice with passion, and Dillingham called it out like he always does. And that's one reason why so many players respect him and so many coaches respect him. But they rebounded very nicely on Friday. There were several standouts that I pointed out. Zane Gonzalez, legendary kicker for the program. We all know he held the all-time NCAA points record for a few years, and he was in the house. There was Jesus Gomez got named to the Lou Groza Award watch list, the transfer from Eastern Michigan at the kicker position. So there was a lot to feel good about yesterday, and now officially heading into week 2, Camp Tontozona is next week. From Wednesday through Saturday, I believe, they will be up north in Arizona for a few days. But let's just talk about the week that was for the last few minutes of the show. So my takeaway, like I said, this team is a lot deeper, a lot faster, and a lot more physical this season compared to last season. CJ Fight has come back as strong as ever. I believe that he's going to take a step forward when it comes to being able to rush the quarterback from the interior. I believe he's going to be the same level of run stopper that he has been over the last year. I believe that he truly does have potential to be a first-round NFL draft pick. And Justin Watley, he lost 15 pounds from last season to this season according to the new measurements provided by the university. It looks like he's focusing more on being an edge rusher this season compared to playing on the interior with the ads that Arizona State has made along with Zach Swanson coming back. And he looks he looks the part of somebody who's lost 15 pounds. He really could be a major factor in Brian Ward's defense for De'Ron Reynolds. Um, Same with Clayton Smith. Clayton Smith has gained about 10 to 15 pounds over the offseason as well. And you add those guys to a healthy Prince Dorba, who I was impressed with in the drills that I saw him participate in, and Elijah O'Neal. It could be the pass rush could be a strength of the team in 2025. That's just coming from me. It could be wishful thinking. You never know. Arizona State's going to run into some very, very good offensive lines that will certainly test them to their limits, but the talent is there. The other group I wanted to talk about was wide receiver. They did struggle with drops a little bit on Thursday, a little bit yesterday on Friday as well. But overall, there's a lot to feel great about when it comes to the wide receiver group that has come in 2025 for Hines Ward. Jaron Hamilton has been an absolute breakout star so far. He really could factor into the Sun Devils' offense in a major way. He's also proved to be a lot more well-rounded as a wide receiver during camp than many believed he would be. And he really could be more than just a deep threat and over-the-top threat. Malik McClain has been impressive. Zechariah Sample, I have shouted him out in a couple of my articles so far this week. He has been impressive. Jalen Moss has done his thing. There's a lot of depth behind Jordan Tyson, and that should add to the intrigue for the Arizona State offense. Along with the tight end room, Kamari Wilson. That's a player that I have in my weekly report of players that stood out to me above all else for the whole week. Obviously, I did day by day standout players as well, but during the week I had Jaron Hamilton and Kamari Anderson both. The tight end room, when people think of Arizona State's tight end room, they think of Chamon Matayer, they think of AJ, they think of maybe even Jaden Fortier. But Kamari Anderson has built a very strong rapport with Sam Levitt. That's been apparent. And the tight end group at Arizona State is one of the potential strengths of the roster moving forward now under Jason Mons. And that's a welcome development for Arizona State. Yeah. So as for the other standouts, I have Raleek Brown. All three running backs had moments of standing out, but Raleek Brown was probably the most consistent, at least in my eyes. He really did flash that dual threat ability, that explosiveness that earned him a scholarship at USC to begin his career. And it's going to be interesting to see how the snaps get distributed over the course of the 2025 season in conjunction with Cam Skatteboo's exit from Tempe to the New York Giants. It might be a good problem for them to have. There's potential that no running back gets overused. There's potential to keep these guys fresh. You can mix and match different running backs against different personnel in terms of who gets more snaps than the other, less snap distribution, down and distance, personnel that's out there on the defensive side. There's a bunch of things that you can do with this group, and Raleek Brown has really put himself out there, and he really probably does deserve significant playing time during the upcoming season. And for my last two, I have Javon Robinson and Jordan Crook. Jordan Crook has been amazing so far. He's really taken on a leadership role. Brian Ward and Kenny Dillingham were both extremely complimentary of him, especially Dilly, but Ward as well when I asked him about how he feels about the growth that the Arkansas transfer has shown. And Javon Robinson, he's really the secondary member that gets lost in the fray of things. But especially yesterday on Friday, he was making plays all over the field all day. He was consistent. He was vocal. He's another guy that's taken on something of a leadership role. And the Arizona State secondary could be as great as it is this season, as great as the potential they could be, like ceiling-wise, because of him. And Season is 28 days away. I will continue to be going to Arizona State Fall Camp through August 20th. Or actually, I don't. It's until mid to late August before the season kicks off on August 30th. And I could not be more excited to continue to cover this team for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you tomorrow.